One day, nah, fuck that shit. If you read the title and you're a Logic fan, I already know you pissed. So let's chill and relax for a second. I have a theory, or I have a reason for why I'm saying what I'm saying. But let's go back and look at Logic's Everybody release, right? How do you, as a rapper, pander to the most people while committing the least amount of effort to it as humanly possible? Not really going out of your way mentally to really go into the crevices of these situations and what they truly mean to the people that you want to include in an Everybody album. You might be asking or wondering yourself, what sparked this, or what made me say Logic is annoying, or what made me say Logic is getting on my nerves right now? It's because of this new single, One Day. One Day is a song where he basically tells people to go and chase their dreams with singer Ryan Tedder. Ryan Tedder's vocals on the track aren't that bad. But like most people who are in the position or who are in the demographic that Logic may be pandering to, you might not realize the music that you're listening to is so low effort until you get older, and then you listen to it again like, what the fuck was this guy talking about? I noticed that as a trend with a lot of the music that I used to like when I was a kid. What the fuck am I listening to? And I only get upset with Logic in this instance because it feels like he's one of the artists that promotes this peace, love, and positivity run while committing the least amount of effort to it. He doesn't seem to really understand what it would take to get to peace, love, and positivity. He just wants to rap about it. It's one of those things where I look at an artist like him that I don't expect the greatest amount of depth or conscious activity from, but I'm still disappointed in the sense that he is a rapper that I went to in the beginning for his prowess lyrically, what he was able to do, how he told his story. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was unique for the time period that it was released, especially with Under Pressure. But I feel like the more and more he started to create, the more and more albums he started to come out with, the more and more he's kind of released albums less for the artistic motive behind it and more for his image, right? More for what he wants people to believe about him, which isn't wrong. You know, I'm not hating on Logic for promoting peace, love, and positivity. I remember him saying if someone hated on him for doing that, then they would be evil as shit. It's kind of like a defense mechanism. It's kind of like a shield that you can walk around to. Oh, I'm pandering peace, love, and positivity to everyone. No one should be able to criticize me for that, and if they do, I'll just call them evil as shit, you know? Why not? But to me, that's a bit of a scapegoat, right? So call me evil for this video because I'm gonna shit on you for talking about peace, love, and positivity in the most generic way humanly possible. If I even look down and take a look at these One Day lyrics from Logic that came out last Friday, or this most recent Friday, he's literally talking about, and it don't matter where you at, if you white or if you black, if you rich or you poor, we gonna always want more. It's like you're speaking to the basis of the human condition. Humanity I just feel like by default, everybody wants more at some point. Society has conditioned us to believe that the less you have, the less off you are, like the less better off that you are when you have less. Society and people and families for years have conditioned you to believe that there are some things in this world that you need to attain in order to be viewed as successful or doing well at a certain point in your life. Even when you get to that stage of success, some people may still want more. So I understand what he's saying, but it comes off in the most least thought out, least or most surface level way. I look at a song like this and I just look at Logic like, you're not going out of your way to be a different artist. You're not going out of your way to challenge yourself. You're not going out of your way to think from a deeper, more dark perspective. It's like you've traveled to this utopia, and instead of living in the world that you're living in the world that you want it to be. I feel like Logic is just far too young to be speaking with such a lack of depth and such a lack of conviction, and his words really just falling off your ears like you're in the shower and all the water falls off your skin. It's like, I don't get why he's coming across like a Christian rap artist, and I compare him to that only because the Christian rap artists, for the most part, tend to want to make you believe that the problems around them don't exist as long as they believe in God. And again, there's nothing wrong with that either. My whole argument is, when do you acknowledge it? When do you look at the problems around you and I don't know, either make something conceptual out of what you're seeing, something more than just what you want to see. One of the reasons I like Denzel Curry's most recent album Taboo that came out over the weekend was because he spoke in a portion of the album about the gray area of life. He spoke about looking at things from the most realistic point of view and having multiple possibilities, not just having a bright side or having a dark side. He kind of stayed in the middle and spoke from a perspective of a reality. One really large concept that Logic happens to be missing artistically, or seems to be missing artistically, is artists don't get huge and stay huge by making music that everybody wants to listen to. Artists get huge in notoriety by making music that nobody is making. Basing your career or basing a portion of your career off of pandering isn't going to last long. People need something at some point that's either going to challenge their thought process or challenge their ears. You have to make people acknowledge something that they may have been overlooking or stepping over, whether that be a sound that they may not have enjoyed that you took and made enjoyable, a wave that you took and made trendy, something different than just saying something that everyone for the most part can agree isn't a good thing, like the Suicide Hotline song that he made with Alessia Cara and Khalid. Yes, dope song with a dope message. It's easy. It's not challenging yourself artistically, and that's what I feel the issue with Logic recently has become, making a career of easy decisions, making a career out of optimism, and then, kind of using it as a shield that if anyone criticizes, they look like the asshole because you're preaching about peace, love, and positivity. And don't get me wrong, I know there are tons of people out there that can identify easily with wanting to commit suicide. I mean, obviously there isn't going to be this much traction for the single if people aren't requesting it on the radio, if people aren't playing it heavy. Obviously it resonates with enough people that they're willing to replay it over and over and over again. My issue with Logic in this instance is it feels like he's taking advantage of the relatability of not wanting to die or wanting to kill yourself. Yes, there are a lot of people that go through these emotions. It's a very popular or hot topic right now, and it's been for quite a few years. This isn't a new thing that people are saying that they've wanted to commit suicide. I mean, this has existed for a long time, and we now have new artists that are talking about it and that have been talking about it for years. I don't really think the struggle here is people thinking killing yourself is bad or not. I think the actual struggle with the song for me is the understanding of why people would want to, because there are a lot of people out there that have a severe lack of understanding or empathy for people who are depressed. A perspective that Logic does not utilize that 1-800 song for, instead just uses it to say, I just want to die, I don't want to die, who can relate? With these hot button topics and these easy yes or no questions that for the most part 90% of the world could probably agree it's not a good thing to kill yourself or want to. It's like me hopping on a rap song and saying AIDS are bad, or hopping on a rap song and saying we should try to find a cure for cancer, or we should try to end world hunger, or we should try to stop the Mexicans from being sent over the border again when they're already here, or saying we should stop those people from training children to be terrorists in other countries. Like, I get it. These are things that most people for the most part have accepted are things that are bad. Making songs about them isn't going to fix the problem. Helping people who don't understand why these things are happening or why they exist would be a better method to having the conversation about these things, instead of just insinuating that these things are good or these things are bad. Joyner Lucas' single I'm Not Racist didn't make it top of the charts or anything like that, but it was so widely discussed because it sparked a conversation, it sparked a dialogue. There were multiple parts in that song that you could attack and go back and forth with. That's why there was a music video centered around two guys having a disagreement about racial injustice in America. But with Logic's song here, it's so cotton candy and easy topic that there's nothing in the song that you need to say. Like, yes, obviously suicide is bad, and I feel like he's made another one of them with One Day. Yes, obviously chasing your dreams are good. What is the conversation? What do I need to say about that song? Which brings me to my next point, and I know y'all are gonna hate me for this. I don't give a fuck! I feel like Logic is the first to address some of these easy cotton candy hot button topics, but it's the last to contribute to them. I like Logic. I like what he's doing. I like the message that he's helping to spread, even though I don't think it does much. Other than getting his single 1-800 to the top of the charts and, for a moment, heightening the call volume to the suicide prevention hotline, what is it that Logic has actually gone aside and out of his studio, out of his home to go to help these people? What has he actually gone to do as far as donating to a cause or to a charity or to an event or sparking a fundraiser or getting a group together? You can search Logic's name right now. You won't see him at any events. You won't see him at any charities. You won't see him at any fundraisers or any like meetings filled with people where they can discuss these things. In theory, wanting to help prevent these things is a great idea, but not really getting out of your comfort zone and off your own ass to go and see if these things are actually helping to be prevented is another, which makes me feel like Logic is benefiting from the morality overall of wanting to prevent suicide without actually having to go and do the work to put that morality in place. You have to remember that 1-800 is a single that a lot of people got introduced to Logic with. If someone can let me know, that'd be great, but I don't think it's out there. I feel for the most part that there are a lot of artists now that are iconic in some way because they represented a demographic that nobody really cared about. You know, you have some artists that heavily represent the black empowerment. You have some artists that heavily represent depression. You have some artists that heavily represent homosexuality. Some artists that heavily represent being an asshole. You have a lot of artists that are out here for specific reasons, and I feel like you can't be the guy that just tries to represent everybody because you can't do it. You can't be successful at doing it. Your lines and your lyrics and your poignance isn't going to be felt. You're not going to be accepted because you're not really going in depth with any of the information. You're staying very surface level. I mean, he just made a song telling people to go after their dreams. Either you're telling me something you think I forgot, or you're telling me something you think I want to hear. And that's essentially what this song was. I'm just tired of seeing Logic pandering. I'm tired of seeing him going and trying to relate to all these audiences so they can listen to his music, and then he can make more music that doesn't mean anything for a good portion of people who are looking at the music beyond just, you know, a couple lines that he sprinkles in there telling you to believe in yourself. Yes, you should believe in yourself. You should want to strive for more. You should want to attain more success. The questions in life is why these things are so difficult. The questions in life is why these things are so hard to attain at certain moments. That's what he should be rapping about, not the end result. Rap about the process getting there. Rap about, you know, how much of a struggle it may be. I don't think people are saying that we want you to rap about depression or we want you to rap about depressing material all the time. We want you to talk about the process that we're currently in. We want you to speak from the perspective as if you're not already the one that's sitting atop the mountain with your $100 million mansion, even though I know he doesn't have that. I don't want Logic to think that people want to hear the end of the success story. I think people want to hear the process getting there because that's the process that they're still in. That's how you appeal, in my opinion. That's how you get to that next stage or that next step, in my opinion. That's how you get a little bit of artistic depth to you, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys thought about this song. Let me know if you are having the same issues with Logic that I am when it comes to listening to his music and kind of digesting all the poppiness, digesting all the, in my opinion, bullshit of, you know, peace, love, and positivity, which I like. I like the Logic is going with that aesthetic and that sound and that kind of in that feeling of motivation, but I don't feel like he's challenging himself to go any deeper than what we already know is what's supposed to be right, you know? So get in the comment box. Let me know what you think. It's been Shawn C. Again, don't hate me. Just listen to my frustrations and comment back. Let me know if I'm crazy and anything like that. I'm just venting right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.